Hello. For this session, we're going to go over a problem involving adding consecutive integers. So it reads, if A is the least of four consecutive integers, which expression represents their sum? And we are given four answer choices. Now, in order to solve this, it is helpful to consider the phrase consecutive integers and what that may entail. Generally, consecutive integers are those numbers that are considered counting numbers, whether they are positive, negative, or zero, and they come one after the other. So, for example, if we draw a number line and we have these specific numbers, all of these here, because they are counting numbers, they are considered to be integers. So -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on are all integers. Now, when we're dealing with consecutive integers, we are concerned with those integers that come one after the other. So, for example, -2 and -1 are considered consecutive integers because -1 comes right after -2. Or we could say 0 and 1 are considered consecutive integers because 1 comes right after 0. Now, we're dealing with a variable here that represents the least of four consecutive integers. So this means that if we start off with one particular integer, let's say we start off with this one here. Um, this is a possible value for A. And if we want to determine what the next integer is after that, we would have to determine what we need to add to the first integer to get the next one. So for example, if we start with -2, we have to determine what we need to add to -2 to get the -1. And we know we can see here is that since they are one apart, we could just add one. So the next integer is really going to be a plus one, which represents the first integer plus one. And then if we want to consider the next consecutive integer, from having started at the first integer, we just have to add two. So the next one is a plus two. And then if we want to consider the integer after that, we just have to add the number three. So that's a plus three. So so if for example we start at -2, a plus one is going to be -1, a plus two is going to be zero, and a plus three is going to be +1. And it looks like we have four different consecutive integers. Now, this example is only for when a starts at -2, but a could start at any number. Like if you want to start a at +1, you can. If you want to start a at +3, you can start it there as well. But this particular example helps illustrate what is going on when we are defining the consecutive integers. All right, now that we know what those consecutive integers are, and I'm going to put commas between them, we can go ahead and determine what their sum should be. Now, the word sum stands for the result of an addition problem. So what we would need to do is add all of these integers together. So we're going to add a, and then we're adding that to a plus 1. Then we're adding that to a plus 2. Then we're adding that to a plus 3. And if we want to put parentheses, we can, so that we can see that a plus 1, a plus 2, and a plus 3 all go together. But we are typically allowed to drop the parentheses due to the associative property of addition. So we could just write it like this. Yeah, since we're adding everything together, it doesn't matter if we have the parentheses there or not. It doesn't change what the final value should equal. Okay, so now what we would need to do is combine the like terms. And in order to combine the like terms, we first have to identify the like terms. So we may ask ourselves, well, what are the like terms here? Well, the like terms are those particular terms which we see here are separated from by addition, which have the same variable and the same exponent. Fortunately for us, we can see that we have an A here, we have an A here, we have an A here, and we have an A here. So all four of those A's are actually like terms. And then there's even another rule. It says that if you see a variable by itself and there's no number in front of it, you can just put a one in front of it. So we can say that this is 1A, this is 1A, this is 1A, and this is 1A. And then if we want to combine those together, we could just add 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, and that gives us 4A. So so adding all of the 1A's together gives us 4A. Now let's go ahead and combine the other like terms. And these terms are just constant numbers. So we have a 1 here, a 2 here, and a 3 here. So we can add 1 plus 2 plus 3. So we know that 1 plus 2 is 3. And then if you add another 3, you get 6. So in total, we're actually adding 6. So 4A plus 6 condenses everything, and it also gets us to our final solution. So the answer choice that represents the sum of four consecutive integers when A is the least of those integers is answer choice C.